Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Phoenix Central Schools, we'd like to welcome you to the JCB Drama Club production of The Curious Savage. This play is divided into 2 acts. There will be an intermission after Act 1 that will last approximately 15 minutes. Please be sure to see the display cases in the hall, as well as visit the concessions areas. The chorus and drama boosters will be conducting their traditional 50-50 raffle before the show and during intermission. The raffle drawing will take place at the end of intermission. At the end of the show, you are all invited to meet and greet the cast in the school cafeteria. At this time, we ask that you please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Out of consideration for the other audience members around you, we also ask that you refrain from casual conversation, texting, and taking flash photographs during the performance. If you must leave during the show, please try to do so during applause or between scenes. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Finally, please note the location of the exits in the event of an emergency. They are located in the front and rear of the auditorium on both sides. Producing a show like this takes not only the skill and dedication of the students and the directors, but also the dedicated labors of many parents who spend hours and hours of their own time making costumes, tracking down props, building sets, and many other behind-the-scenes tasks. The directors would like to extend their personal thanks to all our hard-working chorus and drama boosters and parent volunteers for your dedication and commitment to this production. We also thank you, our audience. We are extremely glad that you have chosen to support drama here at JCB High School. Without your patronage and continued support, this program could not survive. On behalf of all the cast, crew, and directors, thank you for coming. The JCB Drama Club now presents The Curious Savage.
Is their car still up front, Fairy? I said, is their car still out front?
Oh, Fairy! Florence was speaking to you.
I'm sorry, Florence. I was watching the fireflies. What did you say?
I said, can you see if they've left yet?
I wish I'd been born a cat so I could see in the dark.
I'm not going to wait for her anymore. I'm going to get a book and go to my room.
Does your jaw hurt tonight, Jeff?
Not bad.
Then stay a while longer. We'd love to have you.
Jeff, you've already invested 256 minutes in me. Surely you can afford an additional 10 cents worth.
Oh, my statistical friend. My curiosity is good for 10 minutes more.
I wonder what she's like. Miss Willie says they are one of the wealthiest families in America.
Oh, great. Some expensive chemistry camp work. Or brave an artist I've never heard of.
Oh, cynic. Has money spoiled me?
Do you have money, Fairy?
Bad.
Let's not be prejudiced about money. Some of my best friends are wealthy. Hannibal, play something while we wait. Help distract Jeff.
All right, what shall it be?
Surprise us.
How about a gypsy's artist?
Please don't play gypsy music, Hannibal. It frightens me.
Frightens you?
Terrifies me. I was stolen by gypsies and rescued just as they were about to dye my skin with walnut shoes. Well, I was.
Go ahead, Hannibal.
I hope she likes music. Maybe she plays some instrument herself. Oh, I'm sorry, Hannibal. Go ahead. I hope she plays the harp. My father was an angel.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Oh, there's a book I want at the top shelf. Oh, I'm sorry, Hannibal.
Fairy, get the book down for Jeff so we can listen to Hannibal.
I'll get a box.
Oh, it's fine, Fairy. I can do it.
No, Jeffrey. Climbing on boxes is woman's work. Men have mountains.
Oh, goodness.
What book did you want?
The Auk, the Dodo, and the Oryx.
People give the strangest books to this library. I can never get into forbidden Tibet.
It's amazing what standing above people does. Do you know I feel smarter than anyone in the whole world?
It's the black one.
Books are in my blood. My mother invented the filing system at the New York Library. She was queen of the cross index.
I like a judgment, Fairy.
No, musicians shouldn't work.
Be careful, Fairy. Don't get dust in your eyes.
Wouldn't you like animal husbandry? I can reach that.
No, this time it's got to be the Auk, the Dodo, and the Oryx.
Who's that with this?
like Mrs. Patty's back.
Right! Mrs. Patty, please, let's keep the lights on.
One of these nights you're going to turn the lights out at the wrong time and hurt somebody. And you'll be sorry. I do wish you'd chosen something else to go out for Lent.
It's not fair to make the rest of us suffer for you to get to heaven, Mrs. Patty.
Other people like electricity.
Now you sit at your easel like a good girl and leave the lights alone.
I must say, Miss Willie, you startled us. We thought you were in the front office.
For the love of Pete, Fairy, what in the world are you up to?
I was trying to get a book down for Jeffrey.
With a violin bow?
I couldn't quite reach it.
Forget it. I didn't mean to cause all this commotion.
No, Jeffrey, I'll get it for you. Everybody watch his own head. Timber! You may take the bow, Miss Willie. You may take my hand handle.
The next time anybody wants a book from the top, Fairy, call me, or the whole shelf might have fallen on you.
Oh, who has ever heard of being hurt by good books?
Enough of the night, darling, and I'd hate that to happen.
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate cold cream, hot dogs, codfish, crawfish, catfish, catnip, sheep dip, sawdust, subway sewers, skewers, frictions, fractions, pins, puns, pens, policemen, and electricity.
Miss Willie, how much longer do we have to wait?
What is she like, Miss Willie?
I don't know, I haven't seen her. Let's tidy the room a bit. Fairy, would you put away the Parcheesi board, please?
They're taking an awfully long time in the front office.
Is she young or old, Miss Willie?
All I know is her name is Savage, and she gets me.
I hope she isn't beautiful. Competition exhausts me.
Well, you sure tied that one in a hurry, didn't you, Big Will?
Please don't call me that, Miss Willie. It's a pet name my wife uses.
Forgot.
I wish you wouldn't single me out to kiss either.
You're the handsomest.
What would my wife do if she came to call on me and saw a strange woman kissing me? Why, she'd explode.
She would if I know her.
Can you please try to remember?
I'll try. Forgive me.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, yes, Dr. Emmett. Right away. And would you set up the doorboard, please? Try not to clutter the place, darlings. Let's make a good first impression.
Will we meet her now, Miss Willie?
I don't know.
Well, we haven't met anyone new since the magician's wife. She was all nerves for being sawed in half so many times. What was her name?
Something caffeinated.
Oh, I forget. She had color. All my relations are so drab. My parents were albinos.
Really, Fairy, you shouldn't invent such things.
Well, they were emotional albinos.
Oh, Fairy, don't peek. It's so degrading to get on your knees.
You get on your knees to pray, don't you? I'll say a prayer. Dear God, let me see something.
See anything?
Yes, I do. Promise, quick.
What do you see?
Someone's coming out of Dr. Emmett's office.
Who?
3 strangers. They're coming in here. Let's go in the hall and eavesdrop.
Is that ethical, Jeff?
You know we'll be sent out anyhow.
Well, you could call it espionage.
Come, Mrs. Petty, we're going to spy.
I'll grab the light switch. It's implied like this into a dark room.
This is the last time I'll be a party to peeking. Kneeling simply ruins my nylons.
I hope I don't get hiccups and betray us.
Dr. Emmett will be with you in a moment.
Please let them know that if there is nothing else, we will get started back.
Of course. There's newspapers and magazines on the table. Please make yourselves at home.
Well, what do you think of it now, Titus? Are you reassured?
Somewhat. It certainly doesn't look like an institution.
Not at all.
Mother will be content and happy here, I'm sure. It seems to be a charming place.
I just hope they haven't made a mistake.
Darling, the only mistake we made was not taking steps sooner.
I like to be thought insensitive. Perhaps it would have been better to leave her at home with an attendant.
That would have been disastrous.
You're hard.
Someone has to be practical.
No, you're calloused. You've married too many foreigners.
Samuel, darling, we've done what needed to be done. Let's not quarrel about it, please.
Billy Bell is right. This is civilized behavior.
I'm sorry to have delayed you. I was anxious to have Dr. Johnson question your mother.
This is quite a place you have here, Doctor. It's been a great relief to us to find it so cheerful.
And we were assured that this place was the best that money could buy.
We hope to offer the best that experience can provide.
One thing I meant to ask you, Doctor. Will my mother be exposed to any danger here?
Not at all. The patients in this wing are in their final stages of treatment. They are extremely kind and cooperative. And on the surface, they may seem as normal as, say, yourself, Senator.
You don't say.
While we're waiting, I'd like to ask you a few more questions about this memorial fund, your mother's.
There's not much more to say. She planned on using it to give away the entire Savage estate.
The newspapers called it her happiness fund.
Can you tell me, was this indifference to money something recent?
I wouldn't say so.
She's always spent money on foolish causes.
Would you mind being more specific?
Well, there was the Italian farmer who had a box of soil from Italy.
Just dirt.
Mother spent $200 to get it for him.
Then there was the flower peddler who wanted a tombstone for his horse.
He got it.
After Father died, this obsession progressively got worse. Last summer, she chartered a ship to send 1,000 school children around the world.
Why?
She thought that they ought to go around the world, there was still a world around.
We stopped her just as she was on the verge of setting up the fund legally.
With a board of directors.
With a fantastic board of directors. Not a banker or a bishop or a lawyer among them.
Whom did she choose?
A postman, a gardener, a veterinarian, and herself.
We should have known her mind was going the day she decided to go on the stage.
Oh, that. Have you ever heard of such a thing before, Doctor? What if a woman of her age suddenly turned to acting?
The unique is routine here, Senator. Nothing surprises us.
If she had been talented, or even vain, I could have understood it.
But she wasn't. She was quiet, timid even. And suddenly this amazing change.
Grief did it.
But why turn to acting? Life has enough drama in it.
God knows.
Isn't that right, Doctor?
As Judge Savage says, God knows.
And I wish that you could explain that bear to us.
Obvious exhibitionism.
Exactly.
She took a childish delight in being seen everywhere with that teddy bear.
Anything to indulge her sudden love for notoriety.
Her entire conduct was a travesty of dignity and self-respect.
And some business.
Can you tell me, Senator, has there ever been a similar pattern of behavior within your mother's family?
Frankly, I don't know.
You see, Doctor, she isn't actually our mother. Father remarried when we were children.
Oh, I see.
But it has never made any difference in our feeling toward her.
And we know she'll be happy here in such a charming place.
I wouldn't mind staying here myself.
This is not a place for laughter, Samuel.
But we encourage laughter here, Senator. We think it healthy.
You do?
Of course, it's good therapy. For as Byron says, and if I laugh at any mortal thing, 'tis that I may not weep.
Of course, of course.
Pardon my interruption, Dr. Emmett, but I'm afraid Dr. Johnson won't be able to complete Mrs. Savage's file for the moment.
Why not?
He finds her a bit uncooperative.
Then bring her in here, please.
Of course.
While you're saying your goodbyes, I'd like to have a talk with Dr. Johnson.
No, please don't go, Doctor.
Please, Doctor.
The shorter we make this, the better for all concerned.
She's vindictive.
And for some reason, Doctor, she holds me responsible.
She needs more time to get over her resentment.
Would you like to come in here, Mrs. Savage?
Will you sit down, Mrs. Savage?
We waited to say goodbye to you, Mother.
I do not like thee, Lilybell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know and know full well. I do not like thee, Lilybell.
She's been chanting that over and over, all the way down here.
Your children are leaving, Mrs. Savage. Wouldn't you like to say goodbye to them? They would like to say goodbye to you.
Oh, how lovely! fireflies are out. What makes the fireflies light up, Doctor? Are they mating?
I really couldn't say.
I thought you'd know. Isn't this a bug house?
This is the Cloisters. This is to be your new home. I am Dr. Emmett.
Wouldn't it be fascinating if human beings glowed while they were mating? Do you light up while you're mating, Lily Bell? Or nose are flighty?
We might as well go, Titus. She's going to be unpleasant. Again!
Surely, Mother, you want to let us depart an atmosphere of bitterness?
50 needles and 50 pins and 50 dirty Republicans.
She's determined to take the wrong attitude.
It's futile.
Time will take care of this. Come, Samuel.
We'll send down more of her clothes when we get a moment, Doctor. We can only grab one grip under the circumstances.
Well, Sunday is Visitor's Day if you care to bring them down.
Lily Bell is returning to Paris next Sunday, but I'm sure there's some sort of arrangement that can be made. Good night, Mother.
If you need anything, Mrs. Savage, Miss Millie will take care of you.
We have a lovely garden out there. You'll be able to see it in the morning. You know, when I was a child, we always used to say 30 needles and 30 pins. You've added 20 more dirty Republicans.
It's a fault of mine. Exaggeration. Oh, it's stupid of me to try to irritate them like this. I just irritate myself. Well, I suppose it has to be exasperating now to be funny later.
I noticed one of its eyes is missing. It must have fallen out in the front office. I can look as soon as I go.
Oh, don't bother. It fell out last fall at the opera. I'd have found it, but the usher was so nasty about my lighting matches during the magic fire music. Huh. You know what this is, don't you?
Suppose you tell me.
Well, it's a teddy bear. Surely you've seen one before.
Not that big.
Do you know what I do with it?
I couldn't possibly guess.
I sleep with it.
Do you?
Well, yes, I do you. Are you going to talk to me as if I were an imbecile too?
Here, we mustn't be hostile.
Of course not. You haven't harmed me. Would you care to know why I sleep with it?
If you care to tell me.
Oh, I don't care. And I'll tell you. I get lonely. I'm too old to have a lover and too fastidious to sleep with a cat.
Well, then of course you must take it to bed with you here. Would you like to take off your hat?
Oh, no. If I'm going to spend the rest of my life here, I might as well.
It's a mighty saucy hat.
A 10-cent piece of felt and 3 chicken feathers. $85. You know, why economy should be so expensive, I will never know.
It takes imagination.
And the blood of pirates. But I wanted one. I wanted a hat like this since I was 16. Well, for all the good it does me now, maybe you could use it. Not at all sure for what.
Oh, no, you better keep it. You might need it.
Oh dear. My hair looks like the matted end of a coconut.
Oh, no, it's a heavenly color.
You should have seen it last year. It was bright red. Then, just to be different, I dyed it black with a white streak down the middle. Let me tell you, I looked like nothing so much as a skunk. Finally, I gave up and tinted it blue. It goes with everything.
Well, it'll certainly go with your room. Wouldn't you like to go up and get settled?
Is it time to lock me up?
I wouldn't dream of locking you up. Did you bring the suitcase?
My daughter did. I wasn't consulted.
I'll go get it and take you up. There'll be time to explore your surroundings tomorrow. Oh, you can wait here.
Alone?
Of course.
No handcuffs?
We have the honor system.
Honor system indeed.
Hello. We saw you trying the door.
Miss Willie says the locks are only there to keep the world outside.
Ironic, isn't it? Oh, it's alive!
Oh, Clary, you must stop frightening yourself.
The poor thing is quite harmless.
It won't bite.
It won't shed, lay eggs, or bark. And to the best of my knowledge, it's never soiled any carpets. It couldn't be less trouble.
Then any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves. You must be Mrs. Savage. I'm Florence Williams.
How do you do?
We've been so glad to have you, and we're expecting you all afternoon. May I introduce Fairy May?
Say you love me.
But we've just met.
You don't have to mean it. I just feel wonderful when people tell me they love me.
Well, I'm sure everyone loves you.
See? I told you she wouldn't be spoiled. Welcome to the Cloisters. Climate best by government test.
Thank you.
And this is Hannibal. And this is our Mrs. Patty.
How do you do, Mrs. Patty?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate lightning, skunk, cabbage, custard, mustard, spiders, blisters, girdles, mice, bees, keys, ragweed, chloroform, rhubarb, bats, gnats, broken glass, eels, crumbs, drums, tombstones, gallstones, salt, and thunder.
Why don't you like rhubarb?
Mrs. Patty won't answer you, Mrs. Savage. She'll only answer the things she hates.
Sweet, but stubborn.
Mrs. Patty stopped talking about 20 years ago.
Why?
She got mad.
Her husband told her to shut up.
And she did.
She gave a conversation for life.
But she's only giving up electricity for Lent.
You're a woman of wisdom, Mrs. Patty. There's only one thing wiser than saying very little, and that's saying nothing at all. Would you like to hold it?
She likes you.
I like her.
Oh, you haven't met Jeff. Come here, Jeff.
Please excuse my left hand.
Certainly. Is it a toothache?
Jeff's face is scarred. He likes to spare people.
Oh, you don't have to spare me. I have to look at myself every morning.
Dr. Emmett refuses to let me wear a bandage.
Well, we have to humor our doctors once in a while.
And now you have met everyone. We are a small group in this wing, and you can find us comfortable to be with.
But Mrs. Savage hasn't met everyone yet. She hasn't met the Holy Terror.
Of course, how stupid of me.
Where is he, Florence?
Well, he was here just a moment ago. John Thomas?
I think he's out in the hall with Florence.
Oh, yes, I'll check. John Thomas?
You won't hurt her, will you?
Gracious, why should I?
You won't object, will you?
Well, what is John Thomas?
Her son, what'd you think?
Here?
He was born here.
I can't seem to... Oh, look. Asleep on the floor. My husband warned me I'd be a bad mother. Mrs. Savage, this is my son.
You like children, don't you?
Well, everyone's but my own. How old is he?
5.
It's big for 5 months.
No, 5 years.
Oh, I meant years.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to put him to bed. He has the measles. I do hope you don't catch them. Excuse me.
Well, that was exceedingly kind of you, Mrs. Savage.
There wasn't much time to explain, but you were like lightning.
Poor Florence isn't well. We pretend for her sake. We hope you will too.
Oh, I will.
I think you should understand right away, Mrs. Savage, that except for Florence, any of us are free to leave anytime we want to.
We don't go, as there's no better place to go.
You're very lucky to be accepted, Mrs. Savage. If I do say so myself, then I do.
Oh, do be quiet.
Tyrant, what is that?
That rude noise is the signal for us to go to our rooms.
It's the evil of machine age. Perfect pistons and no manners.
Well, ours is not the reason why. What do I know includes the first part of it? It's, someone blundered.
Oh, good night.
I didn't hear you. We never say that. It means there's no more.
No more what?
No more of so much.
Don't let Just Man disturb you. During the war, his plane was shot down. He hasn't recovered yet.
Was his face badly burned?
Oh, not at all. Jeff fell down, but he lost his crew. His scar goes deeper than what we can see.
As you can tell by now, Hannah and I are the only guests free to leave. But we couldn't tell you in front of the others. We wanted to save their pride. I'm sorry, Mrs. Patty. I didn't mean you anyhow. I wish I could tear my tongue out if I don't apologize to a soul.
Fairy has the gift of the good for saying the wrong thing.
Well, I should think it would take a bit of doing to apologize to someone who won't speak and sulks anyhow.
You'll get used, Mrs. Patty. Just treat her like a clock. Wait and see how the day goes, but don't expect an answer. She's happy to have a reason.
Oh, is she an artist?
I wouldn't call her an artist, but she paints.
Portraits?
Seascapes. Which is odd because she's never seen the ocean.
I forgot to warn you, Mrs. Savage. If you go to your room, don't sleep.
What did she mean about not sleeping?
None of us sleeps here.
Where do you sleep?
We don't. Well, we go to rooms. We all agree to that in principle. But we do not sleep. When you go to sleep, today ends. And when today ends, tomorrow begins. Today, we're safe. Tomorrow could be filled with disaster. You won't catch us sleeping. Couldn't anything be simpler?
Not much.
Today is the only certainty.
Hannibal, you heard the buzzer. Why aren't you in your room?
I am, in spirit. And everyone says the spirit that counts. Remember, fight the night.
Did they all come in to meet you?
Well, there was a Mrs. Patty and 4 others who have no business being here at their age.
I quite agree.
Do you think I belong here?
We're understaffed, Mrs. Savage. I'm kept too busy to form any opinions.
I'd like to know what they told you about me.
Was there anything to tell?
Did they mention my memorial fund?
Not to me.
Well, then, they probably told you that my husband's death affected my, well, reason.
That would be understandable.
But untrue.
Why? Weren't you happy with your husband?
I married Jonathan when I was 16. I loved him from the moment I met him until the moment he died. Do you know what that meant?
I think so.
You don't, my dear. It meant that my only aim in life was to make him happy, to want what he wanted, and to anticipate what would please him. And that meant that all the other things I'd ever wanted had to be forgotten.
But surely you had no regrets.
Oh, none, while he lived. But after he was gone, I remembered all the foolish things I'd always wanted to do.
What did you always wanted to do?
Oh, things that would shock poor Jonathan.
Such as dyeing your hair blue?
That, and studying French, and ballet dancing, and people. As a girl, I was sure I could have been a great actress. So, with no responsibilities and time running out, I decided to be one.
But don't you think you waited too long?
Oh, I most certainly do. Had I been a fool in my youth, no one would have noticed the difference in my old age.
Oh, I'd never call you old, Mrs. Savage.
Well, having kicked over the traces myself, and once again learned the importance of unimportant things, I decided I'd help others have the foolish things they'd always wanted.
How are you going to do that?
By establishing the Jonathan Savage Memorial Fund, a foundation for giving money away in memory of my husband. Oh, and that insane idea has brought me here.
Well, I don't think you'll find it all too unpleasant here. Shall we go up to your room?
Yes, we should.
Well, at least I learned one thing from my French lessons.
What's that?
What I am. I'm a mar canard. That's a dead duck, I think.
Now, it isn't nearly as bad as that.
It most certainly is. Someday you'll realize that a great injustice was done me. You'll know that I was always quite sane. But here I am, and here they'll try to keep me, with my few foolish years taken from me. This just won't do. If people would walk around the edge of the carpet once in a while, it would save